In mist and shadow do our heroes stand, despair foretold by fortune's hand. Blood-soaked cards a blade hath rend, their fates and hearts on each depend. Behind shadowed walls and palest light, the devil Strahd controls the night. Welcome, friends, to another evening of darkness and dread here in Curse of Strahd, presented by High Rollers. I am your Dungeon Master, Mark Sherlock Humes, and joining me, these ghouls and gals, we have Rhiannon Gower, Tom Hazel, Katie Morrison, Chris Trott, and Kim Richards. Hello, friends. How are we all?
So,
Hello.
guys are ghouls.
Hello, Mark.
And girls are gals.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the two of you. Well, no, not just the two of you. Look at the three of us. We look like ghouls with our
True.
pale hair and pasty skin and
True.
Tom is so pale.
Yeah.
like we definitely look more ghoulish than the rest.
Boom, now I'm orange.
Well done. Well
You've been
fixed,
on
buddy.
holiday?
Oh,
yeah.
what a
Nice.
tan!
Oh,
Hold
you
on.
saying? Nice tan.
He's been to Love Island. So, welcome, friends.
no.
As always, as a brief warning, this episode will contain elements of horror, gore, and adult language. So just be aware of that. All the good stuff. The next thing, we don't often do a lot of announcements on this. However, this one's a special one because we just launched a whole bunch of new merchandise over on our merchandise store. So we have a brand new Erois t-shirt for our other game. We have a Nova t-shirt from our main game Erois, which Kim has there. It's got a design on the front and back for Atlas Academy. Tom is modeling our new Erois long sleeve, which has this really cool tarot wood print design on the front with an airship and the Sky City. And then Katie's got a lovely new mug, which is part of our Prime collection. It's worth noting the two t-shirts are limited only. They are limited in number, so get them now because once they're gone, they're gone. We're not going to have any more of them. So the brand new Erois long sleeve and the Atlas Academy, once they're gone, they're gone. So grab them now. The mug, you can get that anytime. That's part of our Prime collection.
They're very pretty, very nice. Very
pretty,
soft,
very nice.
very comfy.
What's that? Go on, Tom, tell me. How do you get them for that amount off?
I'm asking the question because I don't know. That's how this dynamic works.
Well, I also don't know. Why don't we ask Kim, Rhiannon, or Katie, who probably do know?
You use the code High Rollers.
Thank you.
And there should be
Wow.
a link in chat. That
High
takes you to our
Rollers,
merch store.
10% off.
Oh,
High
Rollers.
Rollers.
High Rollers.
Just also a note on other merch. Some things are not. I believe some sizes of our Prime collection are out of stock.
Yes.
There are a few with everything going on right now. Some supplier issues. So just know that we're working to get stuff back as quick as we can. Really. So thank
Check the
you
store.
very much for all of your
We'll-
support.
Yes, we'll get stuff back in stock as and when we can. But check out the new line. You can check out our previous our Prime collection as well. We really like it. We think that it's all pretty rad stuff. That's, we tried to make it so that it's the kind of stuff that you can wear out, and D&D fans and High Roller fans would be like, but other people would just be like, hey, that's such a cool shirt. Rhiannon and I have a funny story of a very drunk man in Los Angeles bar who just thought that it was the coolest design ever, and he told us that he worked with Justin Bieber and all these famous musicians, and if we gave him some free stuff, he'd get it in the hands of these famous celebrities. Sadly, we didn't have any stuff to give him, did we, Rhiannon? We didn't have any to give him, but he
No,
thought
we
it was
didn't.
cool.
No.
Oh dear.
Well, if you want to
That's-
get
you too.
fresh new life.
Exactly. You too can get the designs wanted by Hollywood's A-list celebrities, according to a very drunk man in a hotel bar.
Sounds
Absolutely.
legit.
You gotta love it.
So check that out. Thanks for joining us, and let's crack on with a little recap. Trot, are you going to do a thing? Last time on Curse of Strahd, horse hooves clatter against dreary dirt roads as the sun slowly begins to rise on Barovia. But as our travelers make haste towards the town of Vallaki, a dark shape begins to loom ahead of them. Thousands of bats take on the form of their vampiric master as Strahd's visage tears towards our heroes in a terrible fury. Escaping the beasts of Strahd, our party find themselves exploring an old mill, discarded and abandoned. Inside, they discover a tragic tale of foul actions beyond the sanity of any living being, and a promise is made to avenge the dead. In the early, overcast light of day, they find a few hours to rest. And I believe that we agreed at the end of last session, you all were taking a long rest.
Yeah.
I should do that.
You should do that.
Yeah.
And
Done.
on top of that, let's see, we've got 5 players. I'm going to roll a d6, and we'll have Rhiannon as 1, and then we'll go counterclockwise around to Kim, who will be 5. Ah, perfect. So that would be Katie Morrison. You were the last one, actually, so we'll skip one. And we'll go with Zeros. You had a thing last time. So Zeros, can you make a perception check for me? You are technically sleeping, so let's make it with disadvantage.
Oh, cool.
Oh, cool. Well, the first one was a 21. The next one is a 9, Mark.
Next one is a 9. Zeros, you startle awake. Vague memories of a haunting nightmare linger in your mind. A formless shadow pursuing you through the streets of Barovia, blood dripping from long fingernails. Each drip as loud as drum beats in your ears. But your mind comes to, sensing some other threat. You startle awake. The old mill is dim, and only the hazy grey light streaking through dirty windows and narrow cracks in the wood of the broken door let in any light. Everyone else is sleeping, worn out from your long journey. And then you hear it. A slow, rhythmic grinding, scraping against stone, and the creak of wood. Sweat runs down your neck. Your hands tighten at the sound, ready to fight. Then something grabs you from behind. Their strong grip pins your arms against your chest, and they begin smothering you in a white, thick powder that slimily sticks to your skin and coats every scale of your body. You catch glimpses of 3 women in dresses made of human flesh, manic red eyes cackling as you feel yourself crushed and squeezed into a tight black space. And then you hear the sound of flame, and a red-hot glow begins to surround you, baking you alive. Then you wake up, for real this time. You see the rest of your group beginning to gather themselves for the morning.
Okay, I feel like that was like worse than my one. I don't like that one.
Oh, that was so cool. Creepy.
I mean, you saw your own body, right? I saw myself dying.
Well, you felt yourself being baked alive. Yes.
I mean, sure. So wait, everyone's up.
Yes, yeah, the people seem to be getting ready. People are making their preparations. You started your long rest basically at dawn, so it's going to be sort of late morning, I guess, by the time everybody is fully rested and has recovered themselves, ready to hit the road. Irina and Ismark are still with you. Yeah. As you will gather in the very bottom layer of the old mill. The old bone grinder.
Oh, damn, it is.
So what's everyone else doing? As Zeros, you see Zeros kind of like startle awake, having been left to sleep a little while longer. But what's everyone else doing?
I think Jesper would be probably struggling to sleep in such strange circumstances, so he would have had a probably sleeping in right now. And actually, he manages to get to sleep at this point because he's got a lot on his mind. The Vistani
been
camp
off and on.
being rejected by Strahd, and Madame Eva dying, and just pretty bad things going on. So he's a little bit rattled, but he's sleeping lightly. You can hear some faint snoring from.
It's been like an on-off sleep.
Yeah.
It's the kind of sleep where you feel yourself drifting off and then snap back awake as more things kind of plague your mind. But yeah, you see Jesper snoring softly in the corner. What about Shadow? What's Shadow doing, Kim?
She will be
Kim's
back in a
not
moment.
with us right now.
I'm fixing it in
she's
the
not with us.
background. Continue.
Okay, nice. What is Rose doing then?
I would imagine that she has probably, when she's had some rest, will go to the door of the windmill and just sort of keep an eye on just the distant surrounding areas and just be sort of thinking to herself, but just observing.
Okay, make a perception check for me.
Okay.
She's back.
Oh my god.
Quick update
Would you
while
roll
Oh no!
rolls are happening.
5.
Yep. Go on top. Drop.
I got
Could you update Kim about the Zeros had a bad dream?
Yes.
And now
I'm not going to
waking up.
repeat the whole thing. I mean, I guess that, Shadow wouldn't know. As far as Shadow's concerned, you see Zeros startle awake as everybody else is slowly beginning to make their process of getting ready to travel. It is late morning because you started this long rest at dawn, so you're kind of in a late morning period. Jesper is snoring softly. You can see Rose is at the door looking out, this broken wooden door that leads into the mill. She's looking out onto the horizon. Rose, you scan the road. You don't see anything that would indicate any immediate danger. The trees rustle in the soft wind. You can see dreary, thick grey clouds cover the sky overhead. The light here is faint at best, despite it being morning. And always the mists, just lingering on the very edges of the forests, seeping into the ground in that mild, in the sort of like misty morning. Just these low rolling clouds of mist forming along the hills. But you don't see any sign of movement. Not yet. What is Zeke doing, Rhiannon?
I think Zeke probably didn't sleep very well. I imagine she's sitting on the floor, just trying to keep busy. So I imagine she's just sketching furiously, just trying to zone in on some other activity to keep her mind just focused on one thing and not worrying about previous events.
You've got like a big leather sketchbook or something, and you're just drawing. What is Zeke drawing? What things is she drawing in the book?
I think she's going to try and think back to like the Vistani camp, the energy there, try and draw on some of that positive energy she's experienced and try and sketch something nice and try not to focus too much on the current surroundings.
Okay, yeah. You try and draw that night around the Vistani camp, around the fire, the colourful Vistani with small amounts of coloured pencils. You can kind of give them shades of colour, reds and yellows and oranges, like Jesper wears. The flames of the fire itself kind of illuminating and brightening up those colours, and then drawing the lake and the horses in the background. Yeah, you busy yourself with that kind of sketch. Yeah, sure. Shadow, what's Shadow doing?
Shadow is sitting very still in a corner.
Yeah, just watching.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, she's probably actually kind of okay with these surroundings and the fact that there are little ghost children running around. She lives in a graveyard in the Feywild, so
the dead don't bother you.
Yeah, they don't bother me. Other people bother me. But yeah.
Yeah, sure. You see Zeke sketching. You see Rose kind of keeping a close eye. Irina and Ismark, you can see them pulling out small amounts of just like trail rations that they managed to bring with them from a small leather bag. They share a water skin between them, and they kind of just talk nervously. Mainly, Ismark is like, yes, it should take us a few more hours to reach Vallaki. It should be okay. I think we've got some supplies. I brought some of our money So if we need to buy more things in Vallaki, we can buy a few days more food, and if necessary, I can maybe find some work there to earn some more coin. And Irene is kind of just like, yes, I think that there's an inn there, I remember. Perhaps I can get some work there. And they're just kind of communicating in a very brotherly and sisterly way, kind of reassuring each other that everything's going to be okay. And then Xeros, you startle awake from this strange, incredibly vivid dream, and it's got that awful sensation of you thought you had already been dreaming, and then you've woken up again, and there's that, am I still dreaming? Is this another dream? Like, there's that uncertainty of, yeah.
For a second, that was real, I guess. Like, so I guess, yeah, as I start awake, like, I guess I've still got the ring, right?
You do, yeah. It's currently in your pocket.
Or...
No, you need to identify it first. You have to get it identified, because at the moment, you know it's a magic ring. Same with the dagger, you know it's magical. But until you identify its properties, you can't attune to either of them.
Because I was thinking that if I am, like, pulling myself out of the dream, almost physically pulling myself out, like I reach out, I guess instinctively I would reach out for Ziki, but I'm wondering if the ring would kind of interfere with that in any way, and I instead...
No, the ring doesn't interfere your thoughts. It's more that when you are not near Irina, there's just this sense of sadness. There's this sense of loss, a sense of not accomplishing something that was very important to you, like a feeling of failure. But only when you're far away from Irina. In the same room, that feeling isn't there. And actually, there's this kind of comfort. There's a feeling of a sense of belonging, but it doesn't cause you to, like, reach out to her instead, unless you think Xeros would do that. Like, the ring doesn't make you do that, but maybe Xeros does. Like, there's this kind of,
that's
like,
the thing.
Subconscious.
I think Xeros would reach out for Ziki. That's what I meant, is if the ring got in the way of that at all. But yeah, I would. I think reach out.
It's not
for
like
Ziki
the One Ring.
And then I guess realize where I am. And for a second, there is, like, fear in his eyes. Like, his eyes are wide open, and he's, like, a little bit agape, and kind of, like, not looking like he normally does at all, where he's just got this sort of glare on his face all the time. And I guess once he realizes where he is, he'll then sort of lean back and just be annoyed that he was the target of, I guess, what he considers to be one of Strahd's games.
Sure.
And almost just, like, pretend it didn't even happen. Just be like,
Okay.
I
think the two people that notice that, the people that notice the fear, everybody sees you go to your angry, this is Xeros is almost very always angry, it seems. Like, he has a very stern look, so that doesn't surprise anybody. But I think Shadow and Jesper, based on your passive insights, the two of you see that flicker of intense fear. There's this fear in Xeros's eyes that is very quickly masked or covered up by anger. But the two of you would pick up on the fear based on your passive insights, I believe. And you're all now awake. You have a day ahead of you. So I hand it over to you.
Friends, sorry. I only just got some sleep at the end. I assume you all struggled with the environment. But we should make way to Vallaki as soon as possible. Daytime, and I say that with, the most hesitation ever. It's not even safe. So, the wagon is the safest place. Let's get going, right?
It looks clear outside at the moment, but yes, we should make a start on the journey.
All right. I'll get the horses ready. Feel free to meet me by the wagon. First come, first serve for seats. And I'll just head out towards the Nelly and Furtado. Give them a little zhuzh.
Your draft horses that pull your wagon are accounted for. Looks like Ismark brought them to the sides of the windmill and tied their harnesses to, like, a rotten wooden stake that's been put in the ground. Like, it looks like it was maybe a fence once, but it's long since dilapidated. But he's kind of, like, loosely tied the harnesses. The wagon itself has been pulled in just to the side off the road itself and kind of kept hidden behind the windmill.
Nice.
Ismark just looks over and he's just like, I hope you don't mind, Jesper, but I thought that whilst you were exploring it yesterday, I should move it over. Keep
my
it off
negligence.
the road.
Thank you so much for looking after them. I didn't think.
Right. That's okay. It's no
are
problem.
you doing well?
I think so. I'll be safer once we're inside Vallaki's walls. They have guards and walls and lots of houses. And from what I hear, Strahd has avoided the place. He says the devil has avoided the place. I'll feel much safer when we're there.
Ismark, I like your optimism, and it fuels me. I appreciate that. What does worry me, though, is why Strahd himself would avoid such a place. Can it be worse?
I don't think so. No, I think that it's just full of people. But I mean, even the devil has his limitations. Yes, but he still can't enter places where he's not invited. And enough men, enough people, or enough men and women with good swords and good arms. I mean, he cannot fight an army by himself. He's still just one man, a very powerful creature he is, but even the devil must fear something. And there's a holy man. There's a church in Vallaki. The Morning Lord still has some power in these lands, diminished as it may be.
I hope so. I look forward to its walls.
Mm-hmm.
Is Irina doing okay?
Yeah, she's fine. And as you say that, Irina comes up behind Ziki, and you can see Irina is looking at your kind of sketchbook as you're sketching, Ziki, and she just leans over and seems to just be watching you. It's very good. It's lovely artwork that you've done.
Oh, thank you. It's been a struggle to try and channel some energy that's keeping me going with this. But I'm trying my best. As long as I'm drawing, then Lyra is with me, and I can keep doing as she taught me.
Who is this Lyra? Is that a god from where you are from?
She is. She's the joy bringer, as she's known. She's the patron of joy, I suppose. She brings happiness to everyone. She ensures that everybody is, well, I guess as long as people are celebrating the joys of life, then that keeps her happy. So I try and do what I can every day.
She sounds wonderful. I only wish that we had such a goddess here in Barovia. It will be good to have somebody like you around to try and spread joy. It's something that we have not enough of here. And until perhaps we are rid of things, but I'm glad. And like I said, your artwork is quite lovely. If you ever have any time, I realize that all the photos and the paintings of Ismark and myself, they were all in the house. If you wouldn't mind, I could give you some money or something like that, but it would be quite nice to have something of my brother and I. Just to
well,
keep
there's no
on
need
me.
to pay. I'd love to do it for you. It would be brilliant. It would be so much fun. Of course,
Thank
I'm
you.
more than happy to.
She kind of puts a hand on your shoulder and helps you up. You don't see this, Ziki, but as you close the sketchbook where you've been drawing this Vistani camp, this scene of the nighttime, perhaps only the spirits that watch your adventures see this, but as you close the book, without you even realizing you had drawn it, in the back, looming out of the shadows of Madame Ava's tent, a figure with red eyes, just staring as the book closes.
Ruin the joy.
Not even your drawings are safe.
Ziki
Oh, goodness.
Ziki deserves that.
That's cool.
Yeah, you are all led outside. What's the order? Who's traveling with who? You've got the 2 riding horses and then the wagon. Who wants to go where?
I'll
can
take
go
the
on a
reins today,
horsey.
Ismark. So I'll be on the riding seat.
Yeah. So on the wagon, you've got a seat next to Jesper. So the front of the wagon, you can have 2 people sat. The back of the wagon, the previous canvas covering has been kind of shredded by a lot of the bats. It will still protect you from like most things like rain and stuff like that, but it's got a few holes and patches in it now. And there's enough seats for like 4 people in the back of the wagon. And then you've got the 2 horses as well. But where do folks want to be? Not that it's going to be important.
I could take one of the horses.
Yeah.
Separate.
So you want to just
wagon.
do what you had before? So like Rose and Shadow on a horse, Ismark and Irina on a horse, and then the 2 dragon siblings with Jesper in the wagon. Do you just want to do that?
I'll go where Rose goes. Yep.
All right.
I'll go where
I'm seeing
Zeke
nodding.
goes.
I'm seeing lots of nodders. That's in that case. That is what happens. You set off from the broken mill that you had been resting in, and you begin to travel the roads. When you look outside, when you step outside and you look up, there are no ravens present. The road turns north as it turns into a faint dirt track that weaves, curves in on itself like a winding snake trapped around the forest's edge. The path winds its way along these ancient woods, and for several hours, it is just you and the road. A faint, dismal, grey rain begins to fall. The soft pitter-patter of the raindrops hitting against wood and your armor, and the soaking smell of wet horsehide fills your noses as you continue this dull journey. Eventually, the road turns to the west and begins making its way down an old, semi-cobblestoned trail through a thick set of woodland. The trees on either side, like before, are these gnarled, twisted branches, and they seem ancient and thick. Very few paths or trails linger here. Occasionally you see the odd sign of lumber where trees have been cut down, and odd red bloodstains stain the grass around the stumps. It is not long as you travel down this road that a sound echoes. And it is a sound that one person in the group in particular knows all too well, because it is the howling of wolves. As a larger than you have seen before, wolf comes charging out of the scrubland as fast as the swiftest horse and attacks. Let us roll initiative.
Oh, it just jumps us.
Here we go.
Right
Here we go.
It jumps you as if anticipating you to be here.
Oh wow, these rolls.
Yeah.
Coming in thick and fast.
Zeke,
Oh my
your
God.
initiative.
Oh, God.
That is a 5 in total.
5 total.
Jesus.
Jesper,
9.
9 total. Shadow Beyond the Veil,
9.
9 total. Okay. Rose,
9.
9.
9.
9. 0.
4.
Oh my god. And Irina completes the set with a 6.
Look at that. Oh, boy.
God.
Okay.
Amazing.
Right. I have to do a lot of rolls by myself because so many of the NPCs are going first. In fact, all of the monsters and horses go
Brilliant.
before any of you guys. So
Right.
bear with
horses,
me.
guys.
Uh,
Slower than
yeah,
horses.
bear with me. The direwolf comes charging and setting its eyes upon the kind of more thickly built and slower paced draft horses, Nelly and Furtado, will pounce on to Nelly, trying to sink its giant jaws into her flesh, which it does so. It bites down deep and tries to drag Nelly to the ground as it does so. She will need to make a strength saving throw. This is where Mark just does a ton of rolling by himself. So the wolf latches on to the one of the wagon's horses and tries to bear it to the ground, but the horse, its immense strength, keeps itself upright. But you can see it's now the fear in its eyes, its nostrils flaring, its breath comes out like steam as the wolf has latched on and carved a huge chunk out of its flesh on the neck. And it just kind of barrels down on towards it. Nelly herself will try and kind of stomp towards the wolf with her hooves.
Wouldn't it be great if the horses just took the wolf down and we're just sitting there like...
Sadly, the hooves come smashing down towards the ground, but the wolf nimbly kind of throws itself backwards. The other horse, Furtado, fortunately, because it is lashed to the wagon by the reins, cannot get onto that side to help and is just rearing up. The horses both kind of nearly coming to a full stop in their panic as they reach for the air. The horses that you're currently riding on, Rose and Shadow, will just keep running. So all of this is, you're all still moving at the time. It's not going to take any offensive actions because it will need to turn around to be able to get within striking distance of the wolf itself. Ismark on the other horse will turn back. He'll kind of like look back and just go like, dire wolves! We won't be able to outrun them. We need to try and slay them. And he'll begin pulling his sword free and he'll begin turning his horse around, which is just in time to see another horse come barreling out of the undergrowth on the other side as it rushes towards the wagon horses as well. And in fact, actually, I can move you guys to here.
Horse or another wolf?
Oh, horse map.
Horse map.
Is that another wolf that comes out or another horse that comes out?
No, it's another wolf comes out.
Oh, they look like
this is a very crudely drawn map. Bear with me.
That's cool.
I also that represents character. Right, you guys should be able to move all of your tokens. If you can't, let me know. So the other wolf comes barreling out the other side, and rather than trying to go for the Furtado, the horse on the other side, it comes around the front of the wagon and will try and strike Nelly as well, almost acting together in a pack formation. The two wolves leap upon their desired prey in one fell swoop, and again it sinks its teeth in, and poor Nelly is borne to the ground as she...
What? Sorry, what?
Is Nelly
What?
dead?
Dead?
Oh, my Nelly.
Yes.
Whoa!
Well, is as a beast does. I'm not going to give horses death saving throws, unfortunately.
Spare the dying?
Yeah, I might let you spare the dying. I might let you. We'll see what happens. But yeah, the two wolves, both wolves come barreling out of the undergrowth in a charged run. They leap onto the horse and just sink their teeth into her neck and drag her to the ground. Trot, can you make a dexterity saving throw for me, please?
Did it do it? Do another one.
6.
Oh, that's a nat 1.
6. That was a natural 1. You see this beloved horse go down, and in your mind, you know that you need to try and cut her harness before her tipping over. Takes the whole wagon to jackknifes the whole wagon. But whether it's the shock of seeing this beloved animal die, whether it's all the stress and pressure of the previous 24 hours, you just don't reach it quickly enough. The whole wagon jackknifes. Zeros, Ziki, and Jesper, you all end up prone on the side of the road as the wagon is thrown to the side.
Holy shit.
Rose. No, you don't take damage, but you are prone. So you're just kind of like thrown out as the wagon
This is going really well.
spins on its axle. Yeah.
I'm going
You can continue
to...
running if you'd like.
No, I'm gonna turn the horse and shoot one of the wolves.
You cannot use your bow whilst you are guiding the horse because you'll need two
Even
hands to
if
guide.
if I keep it still. If I stop the horse?
If you want to stop the horse, make an animal handling check just to see me how much control you have over the animal to bring it to a full stop in the presence of predators.
Oh, hang on.
Hang on. I believe
Hang on,
you
love.
can do.
17.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's enough. Yeah, you kind of you guide the horse around. You keep her calm long enough with pressure of your thighs to stay in position and not run away. You let go of the reins, pull out your bow, and yeah, you can take aim. Go for it.
I will bonus action. Slayer's Prey. That's the one. Blah, 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 blah. I'm flipping between tabs.
Which one do you want to Slayer's Prey? Do you want to Slayer's Prey? The
one
the
that
the
just
first
took
one.
down Nelly.
Okay, so the second one to act. Yep. Cool.
No doubt, no
How
doubt,
dare
no
you
doubt.
forget Nellie's name?
14 to hit.
14 will still hit. Yeah, 14 still hits the wolf.
Thank goodness for that. 5 damage with the bow, and then another 1 with Slayer's Prey. Wow, rolling like trash today.
You are all rolling like trash. The arrow comes flying out. It embeds into the dire wolf's thick hide. It turns around, and with blood-soaked jaws staining its white fur, it just as it turns its eyes towards you, Archer. As it does so. Shadow Beyond the Veil. You are on the same horse. I will turn it around for you on the map while you take your go.
Can I cast a spell and then a cantrip as a bonus action? I've never been a pure spellcaster before, so I can't remember the rules.
So, because that's right, because Spare the Dying is a bonus action for you, isn't it?
As for me,
So the way it normally works is if you cast a regular spell as a bonus action, you can only cast a cantrip with your action. So yes, you can cast a regular spell and then cantrip bonus action, because that's not covered by the rules. So
Okay.
I'll say yes.
In which case, can I cast Guiding Bolt at level 1 on the Wolfie that Rose just shot?
Yes, we'll call that Wolf B.
Wolf Bernard. Where's my freaking dice? I just had you up. There we go. So it's a ranged spell attack, 21 to hit.
That will definitely hit, yes.
And then it's
the streaks of purple scarabee light.
golden.
Points.
And then it's
Sorry,
16
gold.
points of radiant damage.
Send it
and then
sprawling,
can
but
I-
does not finish it off. You can see these kind of burn, scorch marks of energy in its hide, and it does seem to kind of like whip its head round in the frightened aspect of a beast, but is not dead.
And then can I cast Spare the Dying on Nelly? So because of my Grave Cleric ability, I can cast it at a range of 30 feet.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question, Kim.
Here we
Do
go.
you think your mistress, and you know who your mistress is, do you really think she is going to give a shit about this horse?
I think seeing the despair on Jesper's face.
And so in your prayer, is that what you're channeling? You're like, you know that this will
Well,
despair Jesper and you want to save him that pain?
I would probably
Sell it to me.
channel the feeling and the fact that we are in such dangerous lands, and it is clear that these animals are crucial to us getting to where we need to go, and the longer we're on the road, the more dangerous it is.
Sure.
And also,
You
look
can't.
at what poor
Sure,
Jesper's
okay.
been through.
No, that's fine. You cast your spell, and you feel a chill kind of run through your body as you channel the dark energy of of not only your magic, but you can feel that this land, there's a strange magic here is definitely influenced by this realm as well. And as the energy of the spell hits the horse, where it touches, you see its hide turns black, as if it was a black-colored horse, but it's a chestnut brown. And you see it kind of spread this dark black patch, but the wounds do seem to stem their bleeding, and it is stabilized. You can see, yeah.
Thanks, babe.
Jesper.
How aware am I of what the hell Shadow just did to my horse?
No, you have no idea. You have no
Looks
idea.
like you just fired some blank shit on my horse.
I would say in Jesper's condition, no, you saw Shadow blast the wolf, and it was hit by this golden rays of light, and then you saw her cast a spell, and the wound stopped bleeding.
Okay.
But you don't know the extent of anything else.
I think in a fit of rage and despair,
Oh.
shouting, "No, Nelly, no!" I'll run over and just slam into the wolf with my rapier and dagger.
So is this the one directly in front of you, basically? The first one that attacked you?
Whichever one is, closest, yeah.
If it's Wolf B, you get advantage.
It is not.
I get A.
I'll be hitting A.
I mean, somebody else gets that advantage.
So
I will name them.
23 to hit.
Alpha.
7
Alpha
piercing.
Beta.
That will hit. 7 points.
24 for the dagger, 6 piercing.
6 piercing. So both blows come striking in. The direwolf's hide is thick. The rapier barely, with all your strength, you kind of have to plunge it through into its paw. Then the dagger cuts along part of its tendon across its chest. Its fur is matted. It's covered in sort of like a dark mud and filth. And the blade cuts, but you can still see the creature is well within its fighting condition as you do so. Anything else, Jesper?
I don't believe I can do anything else, but Bardic Inspiration, is that a bonus?
I believe it is. Bardic Inspiration is indeed a bonus action.
Yeah.
In which case, I will look to Zeke and say, I need you. I need your joy right now. Please assist us.
Okay.
And give you some Bardic Inspiration, so it's a D6 to something.
I think
you
you can
very
use it
much.
on attack rolls, saving throws, or ability checks, and you can add that extra
Right.
D6. And it lasts like 10 minutes, so you don't have to use it right away.
Awesome.
Okay. Irina will see what's going on, and she will turn around and do her best to assist in the fight as well. She doesn't have a ranged weapon, so she'll basically hold her action for Ismark taking her close enough that she can strike, but she kind of pulls out a rapier and is aiming it down on the side of the horse as she waits for Ismark to kind of kick the horse into its position. Zeke.
Hello.
Hello.
So, with sorcery points, I can twin spell. Can I cast Maximilian's Earthen Grasp and twin spell it?
So the thing with twin spell is you look at the original spell. If the original spell can hit is one creature as the target, you can twin it. Because it's basically twinning is adding another target. If it affects a radius or an area, you can't twin it.
It says unoccupied space on the ground that you can see within range. Okay, so it does.
So you couldn't twin that.
Okay.
But because if you
anything
placed
with
it in a
spell
certain
attack?
point, you might be able to hit both of them. So what's the range of the Maximilian's Earthen Grasp? Like, what does it say? Like one
It's
creature's
5
within a
feet.
5 foot
There's
radius?
Creature within a 5 foot
So you
radius
could-
of it, yeah.
Yeah, so you could place that. I'll freehand draw it. If you put it sort of here, you can hit both wolves.
Okay. Then I
Yeah,
would like
yeah,
to do
just
that,
want to see.
please.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so what do I need to do? Is this a saving throw on my
So
part?
you need to
or-
make a strength save. Strength save of 12.
Okay, and do you have any other meta magics like that you want to use with it? So things like maximize or anything like that?
I've got twin spell and I've got subtle spell.
Okay, so yeah, subtle spell is not really as relevant here. Okay, so strength saving throws. What DC am I trying to beat?
It's a 12.
12, right? So that is an 8 for Direwolf A, and that is a 18 for Direwolf B. So A fails, B
Okay.
succeeds.
Okay, so Wolf A needs to take 2d6 of bludgeoning damage and is restrained for the
okay.
spell's duration. So 2d6. Blah, blah. So that's 7 damage total.
7 damage to
And
A.
then to A, yeah.
Yep. And then is it just
And I think-
half, or does the B take nothing?
B takes nothing. And then
Okay.
Wolf A has to make a strength save again to
To get
be
out of the
released
restraint.
from the grip.
Okay.
Yeah.
What does this look like when Ziki casts it?
I imagine it says here the component is like a miniature hand sculpted from clay. So I imagine she has like one of those reference hands that like artists use, and she just like she bends the fingers into a fist and then uses that as like a draw to bring this hand out of the earth.
And you just see it kind of reach up. It grabs the first dire wolf and crushes its front leg. And you just watch as like all the stone and mud kind of cripples around it. And it's holding onto the leg as well. It's literally got the leg in its grip. And you can see the wolf is trying to pull itself free as it does so. Do you want to move or any bonus action, Ziki? You'll have 15 foot of movement. You'll need to stand up.
I think I'll stay where I am, actually.
Okay. Do you want to stand? I'm assuming you stand up, though. Yeah.
I'll stand up, yeah.
Okay. Zeros, you are up.
Well, with 15 feet of movement, I can't get to any of the wolves, so I have to stand up first. So I can get there, and then I will just ready an action if anything comes close. Actually, you know what? I'm going to throw
You could dash.
Throw a hand axe.
Okay, yeah, you can pull a hand axe out and.
Yeah, how does that work? Throwing it. Do I just use a regular roll?
Making an attack. It's an attack. You make an attack with it.
Exactly.
Whatever your attack bonus is. Yeah, it's just an attack bonus with whatever it says. So there you go.
13.
13 is not enough. The wolf. Are you attacking? Which one are you attacking? Because both of them you have advantage against. So roll again. It doesn't matter which one, because if you attack A or B, you have advantage.
One's
restrained and one's guiding bolt.
Yeah.
18.
Lit up like a Christmas tree.
All right. Which one? A or B?
I'll go for B because that's like the untouched one right now, isn't it? Or like the one that the melee's.
No, they've both been injured.
I'll still go for B anyway.
All right. So the guiding light of Shadow's spell helps pull the hand axe to it as you kind of throw it over Nellie's body, and the axe digs into its neck and just stays there as the wolf is like thrashing around, desperate to try and make its escape, perhaps. End of your turn?
That's my turn.
Okay. Wolf A will... I think it'd be quite enraged. It will attack Jesper. I don't think that these things are necessarily going to, even when restrained. You guys don't have any fire out, so they're not scared. So Jesper, that is a 24 to hit you.
Yeah, I might do it.
You take... Jesus, max fucking...
Perfect damage.
Wow.
Thank you.
Man, my rolls, they're always there when I need them. 15 points of piercing damage as this wolf bites hard onto your arm and shoulder. Hump. Crunch. And then that's its action, so it can't get away, it can't move. It kind of just attacks you with these blood red, like bloodshot eyes in this kind of bestial fury. Furtado will basically spend its movement to try and right itself, and then it just tries pulling away from the wagon in a panic. Let me roll a strength chest, but it doesn't quite manage to get free. It's kind of half trapped and connected to Nellie's body, and it just can't break free of the restraints, the things around it. Ismark, on his turn, will basically ride his horse alongside the restrained wolf, and him and Irina will both take slashes at it as the horse kind of goes running past. So Ismark will make an attack with his longsword, which will hit, doing 7 points of damage. And then Irina will do the same thing. God, too many NPCs, Mark Humes. Irina's attack... she has advantage. I should have checked for that. Doesn't matter. Even with the restraining, Irina just... the movement of the horse throws her aim off and her rapier goes wide. Unable to completely connect in the attack itself. The second direwolf, fearing its companion, will... They're pretty selfish. They do work as a pack, though. But it's also quite injured. I think the other one is going to be... No, I think... Well, one of them can't run away, but this one does. The second direwolf basically sprints off into the thick woodland, leaving behind the other wolf, seemingly to die. as it vanishes into the thick brushland. Rose. Ziki has
I'm
this other
guessing-
wolf still restrained.
I'm guessing I can't see the one that just ran into the thick trees.
You can. It's
Shot.
heavily obscured, so you'll have disadvantage against it.
Okay. Now I will take a shot at the one on the ground with the advantage since it's restrained.
It is. You don't get your Slayer's Prey against this one though, because that was the one that just ran off.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Oh my god!
That's not a hit.
No,
Enemy.
even restrained, the horse bucks at the wrong moment, and the arrow just thuds into a tree nearby as it takes the wrong opportunity to kind of panic and freak out a little bit, throwing your
I
aim
protest
off.
against digital dice forevermore.
It's working against
I
us.
can't.
Anything else? Anything else you want to do on your turn?
Weep slightly.
Okay.
No.
All right. You weep. Shadow. Is Kim gone? She looks like she's gone. That's a
She
phrase.
is, yeah.
She's just
Yeah.
really chilling out.
Yeah.
She says,
I can't
"Sacred
believe none of us
flame,
noticed.
wolf A."
Okay.
All right. I'll make a save. It fails.
Dex
In fact,
save
it
13.
restrains.
12,
it
sorry.
restrains. It automatically fails. Dex saves.
Okay, so whatever is sacred flame damage.
I think you can still roll.
Hits it.
We just don't see her on VMix.
It's 14d6 if I recall rightly.
I don't believe it is Tom Hazel.
I don't know if it's. I think it's Kim's having some internet issues today.
So,
I will roll a d8. 5.
Yeah,
I did it
takes
for you,
5.
Kim. Takes 5 points. Jesper, you are in front of a heavily injured, restrained wolf. I know you're trying to fix Kim at the minute.
I will follow through with my earlier threat. Say leave the damn horses alone. And while it has been still restrained, I assume, by the gripping earth.
Yep.
I'll,
Didn't try and break free.
Plunge with my 2 bonus actions that I used last time. I realized I did an attack, a dagger, and then a bardic inspiration. But anyway,
Oh, you did. All right. Well, just Ziki doesn't have the bardic inspiration then, just because she never used it, so you didn't spend it.
Okay, cool. I'll just do my 1-2
Easy
attack.
fix.
Sure. Rapier first. That's a 19 to
Chat.
hit with a 10
That's it. You don't need
piercing.
to roll anymore. You don't need to roll anymore. It's dead. The rapier, Jesper's rapier pierces through its skull, and the whole creature just goes slack and drops. It's kind of matted, dirty fur, kind of falling apart, and just one eyeball pops out from its skull.
I kind of want my hand axe back. How far away is Wolf B?
Sure. Well, we'll let Trop finish that off. Ziki, yeah, it's about 50 foot into the scrub, into the woods.
Okay.
Actually, no, it could have dashed. It's 100 foot into the woods, so it's heavily obscured, and it's 100 feet into the woods. With your hand
No
out,
axe for you,
sticking.
buddy.
I do have another one.
Ziki, anything you want to do just before Tom's go?
Let me see. So do I notice that he's about to try and scurry off into the woods?
I think you can see your brother looking like. He's like looking in the direction of the wolf that ran away. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'll just say, don't worry about it. It's fine.
I'm like running in place. You can see my legs spinning. I'm about to bolt.
Like
No,
Sonic is
Don't run
speeding
off
up.
on your own.
I mean,
I could.
They stay here.
Well, it's Zeros' turn. If Ziki doesn't want to do anything.
it's
I
100
could
feet
try
away.
and.
Oh, I mean, I can throw it 60 feet. I'm thinking maybe
I
I
c-
use another hand axe.
Oh my
And
god!
Maybe I'll get the first one. back.
Really?
It's kind of like a sunk cost fallacy thing, right? Okay. Can I? No, I won't. It's a massive waste of resources. I'm not going to do it because I'd have to
Okay.
run,
So you just kind of let it
action dash, and then use a action surge to then throw another hand axe, hoping that it would kill it, just so I can get one hand axe back. That's just not worth it. I won't go for it. It's gone.
Okay.
Okay, it's gone. You just let it go. Yeah, by the time it gets to you, Rose, it's another 100 feet, and it's now out of sight. It's 200 feet
Damn
into
it.
these woods. It's gone.
I have a range of
long gone.
150 feet. Damn it.
You can shoot. You have, I think you can go even longer than that, but you just have disadvantage. You can shoot 300.
Can I
You've also got
try?
Slayer's Prey.
It's more that you can't see it. It's the woods are so thick that you just can't see it to aim at it.
What about Slayer's Prey?
But Slayer's
I don't know. Does Slayer's Prey let you like? It's not like Hunter's Mark. It's not the same thing.
No, it's you can't really track it. It just does extra damage to it. It's
Just extra
not the
damage.
same.
So
Fire into the air will roll a D1000. You never know.
if you want to just try and like take a blind shot into woods in the
Can
rare
I just
hope
do
that you are-
that? Because I feel like Rose would, because she hates wolves.
Well, you
I feel like
make
she'd-
a. Well, you could also. You're on a horse. You could take your horse like 50 foot or like 100 feet into the woods. You
I
could
don't want to
chase
go into
after
the
it.
woods.
You and Shadow.
I don't trust
Oh, wow.
the woods.
How much do you hate wolves?
Not that much, but enough to at least
Make
take a
it-
pot shot at it.
Take a shot. Make a shot with disadvantage. Let's see
Okay.
if the. Let's just
It'll
see.
be trash anyway, so don't worry.
It's looking that way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's trash. What's the total?
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15!
All right, 15. I will now roll a D100. I will give you a. This is such a ridiculous shot. It's going to be like a 5% chance to hit. So we'll say
What are we looking for?
95 to 100. No. you use the arrow.
But I rolled a 15 to hit it! With
You
disadvantage!
did, but the problem is
that
you
would have
did,
been
but
a
the
hit!
that would have been a hit if you weren't basically going.
It's also heavily obscured.
And just
I think heavily
aiming-
obscured is +5.
It's
But if I moved
it's
the
not-
horse into where it went down.
right, but the trees are so thick that it's not like a path that you're looking down the path. This is just wild trees. You can't see it. I'm literally letting you attack a creature where you have no idea where it is in a big wide view, and it's just like, let's see.
I like to think that it at least grazed it. Okay?
You can think whether you like.
yeah.
You don't see where the arrow lands.
In
As
Rose's
far as you're
mind,
concerned, it's dead.
she did a great job. It's dead. Done.
Cool.
Donezo.
We are still trying to get Kim in. Kim is having some issues, which is so weird because on Sunday it's fine. It's just every Thursday.
Yeah.
So weird.
Okay, but the horse
You-
is stabilized, right?
It is how
It's-
well trained in medicine is Zeros. Or do you
Very,
think
I
that
would
Zeros
imagine.
would be able to tell?
I mean, is it breathing?
You go over and like you check. There is a very shallow breathing. This horse is unconscious and incredibly wounded.
Okay. Because there is I feel like Zeros would do something if the horse was dead. But I'm gonna turn to. Thing is, I turn to Shadow now and ask about healing, but Shadow's not around. So is anyone else doing anything?
Well,
I mean, I think Rose was
do we
still
need to,
probably looking at the forest in an angry way, and just generally is quite pissed off just now because wolves. So she's probably
Yeah.
not really thinking about the horse at the moment.
Trot, do we
How's the
need to
wagon?
like take the stream down and then restart it for Kim to rejoin?
I don't think that's going to help, to be honest.
No.
I'm doing loads of things in the back end to fix it,
Yeah.
but feel free to carry on
think it's-
if you want.
Yeah, okay,
I
we'll
think
just carry
it
on. We'll
sounds
try
like
and carry
it's
on.
Kim's internet, or it's an individual
weird.
problem. It's to be.
Alright. I mean, worst case scenario, if we can just get her back on voice, like, I don't know if you can patch her in through, like, Discord or something like that as a worst case option. That might be something. His brain, he's like...
I'll do something.
Alright,
Yeah, let's
well,
carry
yeah,
on.
for the
How's the
time being,
wagon?
let's say
Yeah.
that Shadow is attending to the horse, but not using any spell slots, just kind of, like, looking at it to try and, like, sort out the wounds and, you know, bandage it up and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
You have a dead direwolf corpse. Ismark and Irina, you know, are on their horse. Ismark is kind of looking around. You can see him kind of scouting around keeping his eyes on the sides. What are the rest of you doing? Rose is scowling in the direction of the wolf.
What's
Can
Ziki
Ziki move to the side of the wagon where the wolf went off into the woods and just keep an eye out in that area?
Sure, yeah. Make a perception check for me, Ziki.
Okie dokie. Check my perception. That is a 17 total.
17. Yeah, you focus on the tree line and keeping an eye out. You can see that the woods themselves are very, very old. There is a sense of age here, and the trees gently sway in the wind delicately. Rustling leaves. You get the sense that you are being watched. You have that sense that something or someone is watching you. But you don't see anything. You don't see any other wolves. You don't see any other beasts. You maybe see a few birds up in the trees. In the distance, maybe a couple of crows or something like that. But yeah, no wolves. No immediate threat.
Okay.
I just, while it's all in the background, Jesper is inconsolably upset at the fact that he's lost Nelly, and he's kind of crawling towards that. That will be his actions for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, well, I think like Shadow is also okay. In that case, Shadow is not only tending to the wounds, but is trying to reassure Jesper that that she is alive, that she can be saved.
Yeah, I consider this like a
taking care of
breaking point for Jesper. It's kind of like the last thing he had was his wagon and his horses, so I feel like that's...
Yeah.
Oh, trust me, Jesper, you've got plenty more I can take from you. So,
thanks, Mark.
That's all right.
Kind.
So what's Zeros doing then? What's Zeros up to?
I think if I know the horse is alive, then how's the wagon looking? Because I mean, we tipped in that thing, and we need that.
Yeah, well, that's an interesting one. Make a intelligence check. Just make a straight up. Oh,
intelligence. Let's see. 17 plus 0. Hell yeah! Smart Zeros.
So there's some good news and some bad news.
No.
Good news,
the main thing, the good. Which one do you want first? Good news or bad news?
I'll take the bad news first. I'm that kind of Dragonborn.
Bad news. One of the wheels, as it tipped over, has got a pretty bad crack. All down like one of the main wheels. If you ride the wagon hard, like if this thing goes at like a horse's sprint, that wheel's probably gonna break. And it's kind of like multiple fractures, multiple parts of it are broken. The good news is the axle and the main kind of function of the wagon itself is fine. The wagon can travel, but you're gonna need a skilled, carpenter, or you're gonna need a new wheel basically on this wagon. To go at any sort of speed. You can travel a slow trot, but any sort of like fast movement is going to be dangerous or risky with the wheel.
Okay. Is it still faster than walking? I guess it's more relaxing, right? Like
it's
don't have to.
That's the thing, is this whole journey, you've not been going at a sprint this whole journey. You've been kind of going at a slow, gentle pace, because otherwise the horses would get too tired, right? Horses can't run for 5 hours. Horses can sprint for a short period of time, very, very, very fast, and then they're very tired. So it's not going to slow you down. It's just that if you have to have another, like with the bats, if you have another pursuit before you get this fixed.
Yeah, they're getting kind of common, those things. These roads, they're not good. Okay, yeah, I guess I'll be looking at the wheel.
Shall we, I think that after scowling at the woods general direction, Rose would turn her attention towards the wagon. Is it still tipped over?
It is currently, yeah. Yeah, it's not been righted yet. Like, you can see Zeros, like, analyzing the wheels and stuff.
Yeah, I think I will, can I see if there's any, or think if there's a way for us to maybe fix it a little bit. Like if we can patch it enough to at least.
Do you have
Help
any
it
training? Do you have any training in carpentry? Are you trained or proficient in any carpentry skills, or?
No.
Then you do not have the knowledge nor the equipment to do so. What was that, Zeros?
I've got smith's tools, but that's metal work and stuff like that, right? Like
that could help, but yeah, you're going to need a carpenter, really. There's actually probably an actual term for somebody who makes wagon wheels, but I can't think of it. But yeah, a carpenter would be better suited. Now, as a smith, you might be able to reinforce it at a later date if you have access to like a proper smithy. But yeah, it's going to be a struggle here on the road.
okay, it's still usable.
So no, unless you have magic that can mend, this is not fixable now.
No. I think in that case, she will probably just suggest to Zeros that they try their best to get it back the right way round, and probably see if anyone else can help.
Yeah, and I think Shadow, from the sounds, I'm receiving a message from the afterlife that Shadow is going to heal the horse, so I can roll that for Kim. Oh, good. Like a whopping 5 hit points, I believe. Back to the horse.
Bad when you roll for us. It's
Yeah, I know. It's funny, isn't it? Amazing rolls as the monsters, terrible rolls as NPCs.
Every time.
Every time. So yeah, so Zeros and Rose, I'm not going to make you do a roll for this because you're not under any sort of like threat. You can just right the wagon. It's sweaty. You get covered in a bit of mud, and it's kind of tiring, sweaty work because you have to unhitch Nelly while she's being healed. Like one of you has to keep the other horse calm, whilst Zeros is kind of probably doing a lot of their more heavy lifting, whilst Rose is kind of maneuvering the horses themselves and kind of pulling them, etc. All right, thanks, Kim. Kim's apparently casting. Oh no, there you go. She did it for one more point. There you go. I will heal nearly one extra. Oh, we can, yeah.
Okay, you just can't see.
You are low frame rate, but you are there.
You're
I'm
extremely
just in low
frame rate.
frame rate. I'm shrouded in shadow. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing wrong, seemingly, in my end.
It's a weird thing because Sundays works perfectly fine. I just don't know why on Thursdays. It might just be a portal issue, or I don't know. Who knows?
I'm just in shadow.
Anyway.
It's actually got a lot better.
Anyway, the point is, the horse is healed. The wagon is righted, if, yes, damaged. Jesper is still very inconsolable, but you see life return to the horse. You hear the kind of deep kind of breath as it blearily comes to, as Shadow's paws drive healing energy into it.
Thank you. Thank you, Shadow. You don't know what this means to me.
It's fine. I could see you were in distress. Just took me some time to warm up the magic touch.
More stress than you know.
I feel very stressed right now, yes.
This whole situation's created a lot of stress between us, I believe. Either way, I also feel for the animals. They're all under his control. As much as I don't want to put my sword through the heart of a dire wolf, they can't be attacking our horses. It's our only escape.
They are his servants, Jesper. It's a sad thing, but the more dead wolves, the less dead Barovians.
True.
They're merciless. They're not all under his control. Some of them are just driven to murder and kill and hunt. They are. So let's be glad that it was not something worse than just dire wolves.
True. I guess we have to see the silver lining in something. But look at my wagon. Does it even work?
Well, it will, but I don't know. We're probably gonna have to buy a new wheel for it. Zeros had a good look at it. Anything you think you can do?
Unfortunately, I cannot heal wagons.
I'm not a carpenter or any sort of engineer. I was given this wagon by the Vistanis to travel to your world, to fetch you.
There could be someone in Vallaki who can fix it, but maybe they might know other Vistani who might have a spare or something like that, something that can replace it.
Maybe.
We're not too far now, less than an hour away from the town.
Maybe on 3 wheels we can limp it there. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not that it's on 3 wheels. The broken wheel will still work. It's just any intense pressure or speed is going to put this under stress. And the less weight on the wagon will be a massive help as well. And you're not going particularly
Everybody
faster
out.
than travel pace. Yeah, you could basically, if the two Dragonborn siblings are willing to walk, it will help immensely.
Yeah.
You'll just obviously be less. There's no more escaping any last-minute chases if anything comes after you. The road winds through this narrow section of forest, and then it meanders into a valley watched over by dark, brooding mountains to the north and south. The woods begin to recede, revealing a sullen mountain berg surrounded by a wooden palisade. Thick fog presses up against the wall as though looking for a way inside, hoping to catch the town slumber. The dirt road ends at a sturdy iron gate with a pair of shadowy figures standing behind them. The gate is wrought from thick, crisp iron, and you can see that tiny symbols of a rising sun have been engraved onto each of the bars. The two figures, as you draw closer, appear to be a man and a woman, a Barovian man and woman, each armed with a long pike that can fit between the gaps of the bars. And they look out. They look down from the high walls towards you. They just watch you as you begin to approach the gates.
Sorry, I thought they were looming statues, not people.
No, these are actual two living, seemingly healthy-looking Barovian guards. They wear a simple set of chainmail with a kind of like tin rounded helm with basic leathers, thick boots, thick gloves, and these long pikes that look like they could jab down from on top of the walls if they wanted to.
Hail!
Hail. What business do you have in Vallaki, travelers?
We seek safe passage and to take residence
You'll find
here.
safety here. You'll find safety in Vallaki. You didn't travel through the night, did you?
No, but the day has been bad enough on us, as you can tell, with the wagon.
Oh, what happened? Wolves?
Dire wolves, yes.
Yeah, by the night they've been a menace around the woods lately. Oh, come in. You should find it safe here for the time being. Just don't cause any trouble. Or, the burgomaster, she'll take care of you. Her and her little soldiers. So no trouble, do you hear?
No trouble from us. We'll keep all the trouble outside these walls.
Where are you coming from, Barovia? The village?
Yes.
And then, for the first time, the guard who's been sort of talking to Jesper and looking at Irina and Ismark, two Barovians who are at the front of him, and Rose, who's human, who looks like a hunter or a traveler, perhaps with a slightly strange hair color. But then the female guard nudges him and is like, "Hey, look." And she points to the two dragon men and the walking cat. Like, by what fiends are you bringing in? What are these creatures?
God, creatures. They are people.
Not people
I've seen
look like
many
this, covered in
fiends,
scales.
and these are definitely not fiends. You have nothing to be concerned about with these people.
What? He looks stunned. He just looks completely flabbergasted that these things can exist. She kind of looks and is like, I don't know about this. We've never that one looks like some sort of shapeshifter, and she points in Shadow's direction. And these lizards that walk, dragons that walk like men and women. Perhaps we should talk to the burgomaster before we let them in.
Hold on, friends. How about we let them talk for themselves? Please introduce yourselves.
They can talk. And they're like, whoa!
It's okay, it's nothing to worry about. I'm Ziki. I'm just an artist. I just draw. Hello.
A dragon that speaks. And they kind of look down at you.
This is my brother Zeros.
As soon as they see Zeros, the guards, like, all the fear in their eyes is exemplified as they see a huge, hulking, muscly dragon with 3 swords on his back. They're like, oh!
3 swords and only 1 hand axe now. I'm not even gonna, like, Ziki introduced me.
Right, so you just don't say anything. You're just like,
She did the work for me.
Okay. Yeah. You can see that they're still a little bit anxious. Ziki, if you want, you can make a persuasion check for me if you'd like.
Okie dokie.
Let's see how disarming your... Oh, perfect.
And then persuasion. +4, so it's 8 in total.
8 in total, okay. Don't seem to make a huge impression. They still seem to be as uncertain as before. Shadow, would you just say something?
Can
I assume this is like a hand up.
Waving my paw. Hello. My name
I'm not
is,
sure about this.
What? I don't even let the cat speak. My name is Shadow beyond the veil.
Shadow.
Hail. Greetings.
As you can tell, they are
I'm
very adept at looking after themselves, and they have helped us survive our journey here. Without them, we would not be here, us Barovians and Vistani, friends of Vallaki.
Not all Vistani are friends here, at least you weren't always. The new burgomaster is more lenient, but you must understand, friend, this is a safe haven. We've kept the beasts and even darker things. That can, things that are darker from entering our halls. I just think that the burgomaster should know about this. She'll be able to make a decision. I don't think that... Just wait there. And you see the guard beginning to make his way down from the wall.
All right. But if we get attacked by dire wolves when you're gone, that's on you.
The woman just kind of looks awkwardly, is like, I guess so. I'll try and fight them if they come, but maybe just move closer to the gates a little, but not too close. Stay there.
Wonderful.
Stay there, but come closer.
What a fantastically warm welcome.
I'm sorry, but you have to understand that this is... We're protecting our people. There are things out there in the mists, things that can take the shape of people, things that walk on 2 legs. We've never seen anything like their kind before. And they point at the Dragonborn and at Shadow, like, it's just, we just need to be sure. That's all. It's just precautions to keep everyone safe. And if you get welcomed, then you'll be safe too. She kind of looks awkwardly and shuffles on her feet. She seems to hold herself quite nervously, like she's not really trained to be a guard very much. She doesn't seem to have like any formal military training. She's just been slapped into some armor. It takes probably about 10-15 minutes before, through the iron bars, you see something of a very odd sight. You see a very well-dressed, elderly-looking woman. She's not ancient, but she's definitely perhaps on the better part of 50, wearing very fine gowns, very well-dressed. Beside her is a very large, like almost as broad as Zeros, with as arms as muscular as Zeros's are. But he has a very long shoulder cape that covers his entire right side. Very handsome, darkly so, thick brown hair. Is kind of walking beside her, like her arm in his arm, and the two of them are making their way to the gate, and they are surrounded by what I can only describe as Clockwork Soldiers. They walk in this kind of stiff manner. They appear to be made out of things like bronze and iron. They have all sorts of whirling gears and cogs. They clutch weapons in their hands and shields as they kind of awkwardly move beside them. The guard that ran off earlier is also with them, as are a couple of other individuals, very well dressed, who appear to be some sort of entourage or people that are helping the humans. As they arrive, the woman looks through the bars and has kind of a very soft smile. You can see that her face has been weathered by age a little bit, but she still retains some of that noble grace that elder women have. She was played by a famous actress. Imagine a Helen Mirren, kind of like, still looking extremely well for her age. And she kind of looks through and is just like, well, what do we have here? Some very strange visitors to Vallaki. You were right to come and fetch me, Boris. But I will take it from here. So, she looks around. My name is Burgomaster Fiona Wachter. I am the Burgomaster here. What brings you to my town, strange travelers? You are in the company of a Vistani, and she points towards Jesper. So my gut tells me that you are not from Barovia, clearly. You have traveled from another world. Yes?
Not quite true, I'm afraid. Yes, some have traveled from another world, but the two here, Ismark and Irina, they are from Barovia.
Yes, I remember you, boy. And she points at Ismark. I met with your father a long time ago, when you were no more than a boy. This one, I don't remember the girl, but you, yes. I remember that handsome little face, that blonde hair. Yes, I remember you. But the others, they are not from Barovia. And she points towards Zeros and Ziki. So what do you say for yourselves, dragon folk?
We just want somewhere to rest and gather our strength. We're on your side. We're not here to cause trouble. We just need a place.
Music to my ears, my dear. Of course. Vallaki is a safe haven for anyone who comes here. You can rest assured that there is no need to fear the monsters beyond our walls. Not once you are here. Come, Boris. Open the gates. Let us welcome them in. This is the way of Vallaki now. I know that before the previous burgomaster was, well, shall we say, a little bit more suspicious of travelers, but that is not New Vallaki. New Vallaki, we welcome friends into our home. Do not mind my Clockwork Soldiers. They are my way of keeping Vallaki safe. Not as corruptible as guards are, but they keep the place calm and secure. Very good protection against some of the evils of the mists. The gate is pulled up by a heavy chain, as you can see a series of pulleys. The gate slowly begins lifting. The Lady Fiona kind of steps back and gestures for you to follow. She points at the very large, tall, broad, muscular man. He looks significantly younger than she is. He must be in his late 20s. He looks kind of around a similar age to Ismark and Irina. My husband. And she kind of gestures to him, Nikolai. And he smiles, but the eyes are just so dead. The smile is there, and it's this kind of twisted sneer. Welcome.
Hello.
Thank you.
Thank you for such
Now-
a gracious welcome.
Oh, of course. As I mentioned, Vallaki is a safe haven and a place for you to ease your mind, heal your body, and cleanse your soul. She smiles. So, I'm afraid that the previous tavern of the town is, it's no longer open. But I have set up something temporary in one of the abandoned houses near the village square. If you require food or wine, we have it in droves, for a price, of course. But come, I will leave you to it. Boris, Attend back to your duties. Come, Nikolai. I fancy a walk. Perhaps we should go to the church. Yes, dear. And she begins making her way off, and the Clockwork Soldiers
So creepy.
Okay.
follow after her. Ismark looks very concerned.
What do you make of that?
She was not the Burgomaster the last time I was here. It's been years since I was here last, but the last Burgomaster was Valakovich. Not a bit of an eccentric man. He was convinced that Vallaki would be safe if he kept the people's morale high with these ridiculous festivals, but Lady Fiona was just a wealthy woman. She just was a wealthy woman here before. I'm guessing he died and she's taken over. It seems safe and calm. What?
It's all different.
Just taking everything that Trot knew, and I'm like, get rid of it. Just throw it out. Just change it.
I love it.
But yeah. What do you guys want to do? So Vallaki is a very large town. I'm going to show you guys a map. I need to just scroll over a little bit.
Is it about as big as Barovia?
Oh.
No, it's much larger. Much larger. It's completely surrounded
Wow,
by a
it's
wooden
huge.
palisade wall. Yeah, I mean, keep in mind that this is still a rural development, so it's not like a city. It's still a town. There are streets, there are buildings of all shapes and sizes, with all sorts of different things, buildings that you can see. But it is still a rural town for the most part. It's still, compared to Baldur's Gate and Waterdeep, this is still a country town in the sticks to you guys. But it's larger, and yeah, there is a feeling of safety here. As you just begin to make your way from the gate down the street, you can see families. You see women and children and men walking about. You can see a few shops selling things like produce. It seems people are living a fairly normal life here.
Except that one.
This-
Immediately
undead
trust
giant
none of them.
Yeah.
Nothing is okay here.
Well, I mean, Zeros,
seems
he
normal.
looked alive. The Nikolai, the Lady Fiona's husband, he was alive. He definitely was flesh and blood. It wasn't like he was like a Frankenstein or anything like that. Like, he had pink skin. He had, he moved with grace. He didn't have the awkward clumsiness of any undead you've seen. He just had this dead stare, just like a really
Is it-
haunted, cold, emotionless stare.
He had like
Was it like the
stitches all the way around
soulless?
the top of his skull.
No, he didn't have any stitches around his skull, and no, he didn't look like the Soulless. The Soulless had like a sadness to them. If anything, I would say, yeah, Shadow, you've got a pretty high insight. He looked like a stone cold killer. This is like, you've seen the look on the look of like people in Baldur's Gate, like, professional killers, like that kind of look,
One of
like
them
he looked
does.
like he was a scary fella. And yeah, he had this long coat, like long half cloak that covered like most of the right side of his body. But he looked as strong as Zeros. He was incredibly broad and muscular.
We can't
And
judge
definitely
Fiona.
very young.
She's clearly still able to
Hey.
get it. So
Yeah, absolutely. she
Look,
getting it,
Fiona.
son.
That's going to be me when I'm 50. So, no judging. Sorry,
That
Ted.
is a cat, but she's a cougar.
Excellent.
Anyway. Any cake
what's the
shops
plan?
around? Anyone eating cake? Is anyone eating cake here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No cake. Never
You
any
do
cake.
not, at the very initial part of the town, at the gate, you do not see any cake being
Good.
consumed, nor bakery.
I felt like
like children.
a mole when I said that. No cake. No cakes.
No kick.
No cake.
No capes.
Yeah, there's
Cakes.
kids. Yeah, there's not many kids, but there's kids. You see one or two. A lot of the people here that you see as you're making your way down the town, it mainly seems to be, all like mature adults. Don't see a lot of children, but there's definitely some. But yeah, it's lots of kind of like varying ages from younger to older couples and adults, elderly folks, seemingly going about their business. Some chopping firewood outside their homes. Some appear to be airing out, clothing and blankets and things like that.
Can I ask, what's the sky like here? Because if this is a Strahd untouched land, right?
Mhm.
Apparently, is it like parting clouds, or is it just still the same dreary?
Same dreary, yeah. Same, and this is all over Barovia. Like you look up to the sky, and as you were traveling, it showed no sign of changing. Overcast, no gaps in the clouds. It's just constantly overcast, thick grey clouds. There's that dim, hazy sunlight of an overcast grey day, but it shows no sign of changing.
I play D&D to escape the real world.
Yeah, this is just England. We're in England,
Sun out.
boys.
That's a shame, isn't it?
Just want to feel the sun.
As you are passing down the road, just making your way down the main street of Vallaki, you do see to one side, you see what appears to be a large stockyard with several several sheds, like wooden sheds, in the inside of which you can see a dilapidated, not dilapidated, but you can see an abandoned Carnival wagon. So much larger than Jesper's, a fully kind of like contained room, like a fully wooden little house, effectively. It looks abandoned. You can see that it's had some signs of wear and tear. It looks like it's been rained on. There's a few things kind of lingering around it. Some what appears to be like some sort of like cage that's been opened and just left empty. But yeah, you see that on your way. You travel further down the road, and yeah, you see various different buildings. But it all looks fairly normal, It all looks pretty standard.
We should probably get the wagon tended to.
Yes,
And
I was
Nelly-
just thinking that.
Nelly could use some additional healing. I'm not entirely convinced I was incredibly successful during my stressful period.
Oh, I'll hop off. I guess we're already off the wagon. I'm riding it, maybe? I'm the only one riding it?
Yeah, I think you'd be riding it, just to guide the horses.
I'll cure wounds, Nelly.
Okay, sure.
Easy. Whoa, Nelly.
Easy, girl.
How long have you been waiting to say that? How long has it?
So long.
Look at its face.
Do I need to roll for it?
Amazing.
Yeah, just roll your D8 plus your mod. It's the same normal healing. Normal healing rules apply for horses. Oh,
Nice.
wonderful.
Yeah.
2, 4.
Plus 2, 4. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you see some more of the wounds heal. It's still pretty bad. She's going to have scars along her hide, around her neck from these bite marks. But yeah, the kind of main damage is healed, leaving just these thin lines and scars.
Nelly needs
as
some,
you continue making your
rest.
way. Yeah. Well, my question then is, where are you going? Where are you going to get this rest for Nelly? How are you going to find somebody to fix the wagon? You seem to be coming up on a town square, which is a large part of the center of Vallaki itself. There are people around. What do you guys want to do? Do you want to check out the square? Do you want to go and find a shop like a carpenter? Do you want to try and find somewhere to rest, like an inn or a tavern? Or
Let's find somewhere to rest for now. They'll have a stable, hopefully. My only concern is the burgomaster mentioned that the establishment that we are trying to arrive at is no longer here. That's a little
she
concerning.
said it was closed, which is strange. The Blue Water Inn, I went to it the last time I was here. It was good people I trusted.
That
I
is
wouldn't mind
concerning.
checking it out. I wouldn't mind going to see what's become of it.
Should we head in that
So
direction?
does that mean that both Ismark does not recognize the new burgomaster, who is very different from the sounds of it, and also
I
hearing
recognized
that,
her,
but we're
she's
also
not the same
hearing
one
that
that was
there
here
have
last
been
time.
some changes around here in terms of
That's-
the tavern.
seem to be.
It seems like
I mean,
We
You
should be
saw
on our
those
guard.
clockwork things. Oh yes, I mean you saw those clockwork men. I've never seen anything like that before.
No, who's
Yes,
making those? I wonder.
I
Sounds very
seem to
clever.
remember my father mentioned that there was a toy maker here in Vallaki, but I mean those weren't toys. They were incredible. They were machines that could walk and carry weapons. But I think I used to have a little wind-up monkey from a man here. What Ismark? It used to say something on the tag. What was it? It was something like, "Is no Blinksy, is no fun." A toy maker called Blinksy or something like that. Here.
Honestly, I find the windmill and the ghost children more comforting and welcoming than what I'm learning about Vallaki and who I meet here. Blinksy, honestly.
I mean, anyone that can make toys in a place like this, Shadow, they have at least, well, some goodness in them. Most people
Why am
wouldn't
I
bother. They
getting-
would see it as a waste of resources.
Why am I
You could
getting
say
chitty
the
chitty
same
bang
thing
bang
about
child
people who
catcher?
make cake.
Getting like chitty chitty
Child
bang
catcher
bang
vibes.
child catcher, toy
No, that's the
maker,
hags.
kind
No,
of
that's the hags. Don't
vibe.
worry
No, but
They're
this
the ones that
place
steal
is
all the
giving me
kids.
like the weird child
Oh, yeah.
catcher.
Yeah.
Toys are banned, kind of. No, it's very creepy. No likey.
I've already had cake ruined for me. Toys are probably next.
We should go
Well.
see the toy maker. I didn't say that. We should find this inn.
Yes.
Why it is closed and look for a suitable alternative if we can't use its facilities.
That sounds wise. But I think Irina looks to Ziki like, well, perhaps maybe once we're settled, Ziki, I think a toy maker, perhaps that's something. I think that would fit with what you were talking to me about earlier. If your Joybringer is anywhere, a toy maker seems like it would be a place to start.
Yeah, that's true. I'd like to go have a look. See what kind of work
That
they're
sounds
doing.
nice. All right.
Can
the group
can
of
I
you.
just whisper?
Go on.
Can I whisper to Rose at the back of the group and just nudge her and be
Yeah.
like, "I bet you the toys are made out of children's fingers."
Honestly,
Okay.
yeah,
wow.
that could be very
That's-
possible.
No, that's some good cake making fingers. You know, they're not going to waste those around here. Every part of the child goes into our into
Yeah,
our pastry.
Nothing
Uh,
wasted. It's a
The
renewable
toys are
resource.
definitely, they're at least cursed to make children, I don't know, walk single file into a bakery to then be ground into dust and made into cakes.
Maybe.
Yep, definitely
Maybe.
bad things.
Could be.
On the bright
Well,
side.
you guys travel along the road. You head to the other side of the square. When you pass through the square, by the way, it seems mostly empty, but there is a large fountain in the center of it, with a statue of a man that you all recognize because it is a statue of Strahd. That looks like it's been here forever. It just looks ancient. Most of the features are worn down, but the cut of the coat, the demeanor of which it's presented, it's unmistakably Strahd. But there are also wooden signs that have been kind of propped up, like little kind of poster board signs that have been put up everywhere. And they basically just say the same thing, which is... I'm not going to find it now. But they say something along the lines of wine and food to any and all. Burgomaster Fiona Wachter encourages you to live the best life you can. Enjoy these days for what little we have. We share all with any who would share with us their blessings. The Church of the Ruby Rod, each evening, sundown.
Interesting.
And you just pass that, so you make your way through the town until you come to an inn. You can see that the inn is a large, would have once been a prosperous-looking building, several floors tall, plenty of room inside, but The windows are boarded shut. There doesn't appear to be any sign of life. The windows, all of the windows, have been filled with wooden boards. And it seems to be kind of shut up and abandoned. There is a raven sat at the very top of the building, looking down and watching you all as you approach. It seems to have something silvery in its beak, as it's just kind of cocking its head, hopping around on its feet, looking towards you.
Look, it's back. I swear they're mocking me.
Is that the same one?
Make a perception check.
Can we all do it, or just Rosie?
I think Rose and Shadow would. I don't know if anybody else is particularly interested in a bird.
I just feel very persecuted by these birds right now. 23.
Okay, it's
11.
just like 11.
I haven't rolled
Rose,
double digits yet.
Rose, you're looking at it and you're just like, is it? I can't tell. It's too far away. Shadow, you notice two things. First of all, this is not the same raven. It has one. You can see that one of its toes is missing from its foot. Like, your super keen vision, you can see it's kind of got one of its feet is missing a tone. In its mouth, it's holding a little key, like a little brass key, like a door, like a front door key, like a little kind of brass key, and it's like watching you.
Well, it's not the same as our windmill friend, but it does have a little trinket, some key. Maybe if I can... If only ravens weren't my natural enemy. Core.
Kind of hops. It bobs up and down. You see it does that thing where it kind of leans its neck in and bobs up and down.
Does anyone
Ziki.
have anything shiny we could lure it trade?
Ziki, as you step close to this inn, as you move next to the inn itself, for the first time since you have arrived here, there is a genuine sense of relief and safety emanating from within this building. This is not just the comfort of a welcome hearth. There is a sense of joy here, but it's not born from a comfort of hearth, but almost the safety of a great church or a temple, a kind of holy reverence that protects and enshrouds those within it. And it's something inside this inn is projecting that on this building. You can feel a sense of comfort here. Shadow, you can sense there is something divine about this place, but to you it would not have the same feeling as a comfort. But you do get the sense of a temple or a blessing or a church. You get this sense of safety, but for you as a dark cloak, this is not for your people. This is perhaps for people like Ziki and Xeros and Jesper. This is a place to come and revere, to come and offer reverence to another god, a god of light, not to your mistress. Your mistress.
Yeah. I'm still just trying to track this raven. I'm just trying to track the raven.
So Shadow's trying to do that. Jesper, Rose, Xeros, what are you guys doing? Ziki as well.
Can I hold up my silver bracelet and try and use that to draw the raven in?
Oh, yeah. So you kind of like dangle it down. The raven looks for a moment, and it flies and it lands on your arm. And it looks at you, and you will see now it's got like a little key in its mouth. It kind of tilts its head at you, and then it kind of like scrabbles around on your hand to get you to kind of turn your arm over, and then it pecks at your hand until you open it, and it drops the key in it, and then it just stays on your arm.
I feel like it's trying to tell us something.
It makes that soft clicking noise that birds do as it kind of like nuzzles its beak up against your hand.
Okay, well I've got the key now.
Can I try and just give it a little noggin stroke? Just a little.
It looks at you for a moment. It looks at Zeke, it looks back at you, and then it kind of lifts its chin up and you scritch it in its feathers.
Don't stroke it, filthy thing. My hackles are up.
It just caws at Shadow's direction. Doesn't seem to like Shadow. Kind of
Shadow's like genuinely quite agitated and like. This is probably the most animated you've seen her.
Sorry, what's that, Tom?
I try the door to this place. I'm just guessing it's locked.
Locked. It is locked.
Oh.
Yeah, it feels locked. Ismark looks towards Zeke. He's like, that's quite a blessing, you know. It's ravens are supposed to be good luck here in Barovia. Having one come to you like that, that's very rare. Don't listen to the cat.
That's comforting to know. Thank you.
Does the key that it dropped, is it quite small, or is it like, does it look like it would fit in the inn?
Looks like it will fit the front door.
Do you want to try it, Zeke?
I guess is the natural direction of things. I suppose we'll give it a go. Can I give? I'll give the Raven my bracelet in return and see if he wants that, and then I'll try the key in the door to say thank
Do
you.
you take the bracelet off and hold it up to the little bird? It takes it and it flies away.
Well,
Thank
you're
you.
never getting that back. You're never getting that back.
And then, if Zeke opens the door, the key fits perfectly, and with a click, you can open the door.
Okay.
Filth.
Guess I'll go in. I'll just make my way in.
Okay. Zeke opens the door, and as you do, you step inside. You feel this relief. You feel like protection wash over you as you step inside. The inn inside is full of cobwebs and dust. Looks like it's been abandoned for weeks now. The tables are all stacked. The chairs turned upside down on them. Care has been taken. The things like the bottles behind the bar are still there, but a lot of it looks like it's otherwise been abandoned. But your attention is immediately drawn as the sound of you entering seems to alert somebody who is kind of stood in the corner of the room. Two figures, in fact, both standing. One is a disheveled-looking man in robes. He has a great big unkempt beard and scraggy-looking hair. He looks a little thin and malnourished, but you can see dark circles under his eyes. He holds a kind of crude-looking mace in his two hands. In one hand, and a holy symbol of a sun in the other. And he turns immediately to the door. He's like, "No! Back! Back, you fiends! I will not have the devil here! Begone by the power of St. Andrew!" And then the figure behind him, which rises up, kind of almost in defense of this figure, is a skeleton. It is a skeleton that moves on its own. But unlike any skeleton you have seen before, its bones each have all been intricately carved with holy symbols, and it radiates light and warmth and goodness. And the bones just hold up a hand. Only allies of the light. And that's where we're going to end today's episode.
Ooh.
Man!
Bone Bros!
Bone Bros.
Jack Skellington, hey, bud.
That's cool.
So, Trot, that is absolutely a throwback to a certain someone we know.
A whole character.
A whole character that, when
Holy
Trot ran this
shit.
for me, did a thing with those bones that inspired an idea. So if you're
fucking
watching,
cool.
Barry's not watching, but I will let Barry know that his legacy lives on.
That's his character.
When we played this. Well, it wasn't his character. It was what he ended up. He ended up coming to the
doing.
possession of said bones.
Yeah. Oh, right, I see. I
but
see.
yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
Nice.
the robed figure appears to be brandishing some sort of holy symbol and has a big glowy skelly boy with him.
Sure.
Very cool.
Normal.
What do you guys think? I know we had
We'll
some
get-
tech issues. Did you
I'm
enjoy
really
that?
sorry, guys. I had no idea what
It's
was
not
going
your
on.
fault.
Yeah.
Can't be helped. Can't be helped.
Yeah.
But apart from that, what do you think? What do you think of Vallaki?
I
Obviously,
hate it.
there's a
I
suspicious
don't
of the
like
Wazir.
Cursed.
So
Cursed.
creepy.
We're gonna die here.
It's blessed.
It's like trying to ride a Mario Kart level that you've played your whole life, but it's the mirror version.
It's like this. Wait, this shortcut's completely different. It's like what?
Yeah,
I love it.
but I like it.
One
I
of my
like
favorite things is seeing your reactions to the stuff I change. That's one of my favorite things because I know what you know about certain things, and I'm like, oh, well, let's see what he thinks when I do this. And then he changed, and then seeing stuff. It's always fun.
Yeah, it's great. I'm enjoying it.
Good. Tom, what do you think of your spooky dream?
Oh man, I mean, fuck Strahd. Just get out of my head. Like,
how do you know it's Strahd?
See,
How do you know?
Because it's just a Strahdy thing to do. Put a big face in the sky. Make it look like you can see your own body. Like, get out of town.
Get out of town, Buster Brown.
Just
Get a
come
new
on
thing.
down and fight us.
Is that what you want, Tom?
No! No!
Looks like that's
He
what
does
Tom
not
wants.
speak for the
Strahd
group.
Like
Hell
a note,
no.
Tom wants to fight Strahd. Enter.
I just,
Never go if you think
We
we're
just
Strahd
own
enough.
him.
Strahd enough. Come on, go if you think you're
Strahd
Strahd enough. React.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be a
Amazing.
future episode
Yeah,
title.
no.
Perfect. Tommy boy, get up those any donos or subaroos that we need to
yes.
give a shout out
Let me
for.
just open up real
While
quick.
Tommy's
My
doing
bad.
that,
Meanwhile,
Ree,
look at my
how do you
t-shirt.
feel-
Oh my god.
look at
Sorry.
look at
Merch.
Kim's t-shirt. Everyone, go and buy it. It's at Fresh Merch Store. You can go buy it now. 10% off with code High
Also
Rollers
mugs.
and
Okay,
mugs
stop.
and the Erois
Mugs
shirt
are
as
also
well.
available. Woo.
And this shirt too.
And Kim's wearing it as well.
I've done it. Get the
Yeah.
donut.
She's done it. Yeah, Ree, I just wanted to ask as well, like, do you feel
Huh?
you're settling more into Ziki now? Do you feel like you're getting like a stronger impression like with the character?
Yeah, I feel like I'm getting to know what she's about, and
Yeah.
I'm feeling more comfortable. Learning to be a spellcaster as well is super fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
full
Exciting.
spellcaster as well now. Yeah, if you want to change,
Cool.
if you do want to change out any of your spells, because if you're like, oh, I thought I could twin spell this, feel free to swap them out. Because obviously it's your first time using meta magic, so
Awesome.
yeah, if you want to
Cool,
kind
no
of go
worries.
like, oh shit, I'd want to take this spell instead. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
Yes.
it happens.
Thank you very much.
Wowee, that Norwegian guy has donated with, I got a bottle of Marima Toscana, a block of Gruyere cheese, and most tasteful of all, this Strahd damn amazing campaign. What a classy night. Holy crap. Mark's
What is
left
that?
nut has donated with a
Has it really?
hundo. Man, your
Oh.
left nut is real generous. Hey
Wow.
guys, I can't really get into this campaign, so this will be my last stream, but I hope you all enjoy it. Cool.
Great.
Thanks, bud.
That's cool.
Doomman424
Hey, mate.
has donated with would donate more, but had to snatch that new merch. Loving the spooky story. Great job to all of you. Thank you very much, and enjoy the merch as
Thank
well.
you.
League Crimson Reaper, you guys helped me through my. Hang on, let me just pad the window out. It's messing up the message. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh my god, I'm lost. I'm lost and scared. Where'd it
Oh,
go?
no.
Oh my god. How
You can
have
do
you
it, I
done
believe.
this?
You guys have helped me through my getting my PTSD and depression just by giving me a few hours of freedom a week. Mark inspired me to become a DM, which has led to me doing a degree in games design. Wowee. So
Ooh.
many thanks, and I hope I look as good in the merch as you do. I'm sure you do, if not better.
Hmm.
Everyone
Yorkshire
will look
Dave.
better. 10 out of 10.
Yorkshire Dave, hey gang, thanks so much for another episode of Curse of Strahd. Loving it. Limited edition Erois shirt ordered. Well done. Bosh. Racing to catch up with Erois on episode number 39 at the moment, and it's so freaking awesome. You're the best. Well, good luck with the rest of the catch up. I'm glad you're enjoying it. And thanks for getting the merch. Goes to Sprinkles.
Lots of people doing that catch up.
Hey guys, thankfully not baking this week. Good. Glares at Mark. Just
Yep.
wanted to let you all know, I just got the Erois long sleeve. Quarantine is about to get lit. Plug. Stay safe, stay sane, and wash your damn hands, you nasties. Nightjar has donated. Not
Very
the
good.
horsies. Ligeratus. Oh god, I have to do it in his voice.
Do the voice.
The 5 and 2 on horse and horse depart Vistani's rest, and plotted is their course. Doomed to be the devil's guests. 2 children. This is why I don't do it for long. 2 children with their lives stolen. But when witches get snacky, vengeance sworn, and back to rolling on the road to Vallaki. Thank you very much.
Nice.
James
Nice.
Hunter 4444 with a quarter hundo. First time watching Strahd live. Got up at 4:30, I guess, a.m. to do so, and been watching on the way to
Wow.
work. Surprisingly, work has increased lately. I have not been disappointed so far this morning. Stay safe and keep it up. Well, you've been less disappointed than Mark's left nut. Raging Rhino 10101. Direwolves apparently like the taste of internet connection. Thanks for A, top quality.
Yeah, that's it.
And as always, and B, helping me keep track of what day of the week it is. Man, I'm struggling to keep track as well. Woody but suspicious.
Yeah, same.
There is no war in Ba Sing Se. Love it.
Love it. Me too.
Ravager 4. Whoa, Nelly. Another Thursday, another high roller. Strahd. Thanks again for all you do, everyone. You make these days at home a little easier to get through. Be seeing you again Sunday for Erois.
I will talk about that in a minute. I forgot to mention that at the start, but I'll talk about it in a minute.
Aris, $10. No message. Thank you very much. Ligeratus. Hey, Mark, you should totally make a joke NPC/monster based on Rhiannon's sleep paralysis demon, Jeremy. Please no. And let me just give a refresh as well. And
It's an interesting
Doom-Man
call, Rick,
44.
but I don't know if he's going to go for it.
That ain't it, Chief. Doom-Man 44. Party making deals with a
Doom-Man.
raven. I wonder where this could go. Also, great bird flying noises, Mark. I was going to say, that flying
That
noise.
was
Yeah.
That's
was
great.
great.
That's my
and there you
moth
go.
noise
That's
from
everything.
Foley ship. That's how I do
Nice.
Gandalf's moth.
Awesome.
Perfect. And also thank you to all the gifted subs as well. I'm sure I saw a ton. So thank you everyone for subbing and gifting subs as well. Why am I green?
Because Trot's fucking around. So we briefly mentioned it. So on Sunday, we would normally be doing Erois on Sunday. However, I said to the guys, could we potentially take a break this week? I'm feeling a bit like I need a little bit of a break from Erois. I got a lot going on in my brain right now. Kim and Katie were kind of feeling the same vibes. So in the order of mental health for the team, we're going to take this Sunday off. We try not to do this very often, but we have said we've kind of made a thing with the team that we need everybody to be 100%, and we want to look after everybody's mental health. So it's important that if people ain't feeling it, we take those breaks when we can. So we're going to take a break this Sunday. We'll be back next Sunday. I can't remember if it's Saturday or Sunday. Yeah, next Thursday, sorry. We'll be back next Thursday. I can't remember if it's Saturday or Sunday, but if you are in the UK, don't forget to check out Comic Relief. They're doing a D&D game with a chap called Paul Foxcroft, who Kim and I met out in Lucca, with a bunch of UK stand-up comedians. This is the thing I wanted to do for ages, but I didn't have the contacts to like make it happen. So I'm super glad that somebody could, that like knew all the comedians and could make it happen. And it's not taking the piss out of D&D. I've seen a lot of people both online and on Twitter kind of saying like, oh, they're just going to make fun of it. It's not going to be, no,
Yeah.
Paul is a legit
They said
DM.
they were gonna
They're
make
not going to be doing
Yeah.
that.
Of not saying, oh, nerds in their mum's basement, D&D.
Yeah, there's none of that. It might still be a little bit more improv comedy than, say, Crit Roll or High Rollers, but that's because it's a bunch of comedians and their job is to be funny, right? So, but
Everyone
you should
has
check
a
it out. It's all
different
for charity.
style of how they
Everyone's got a
play as
different
well.
style,
Like,
you know? Yeah, exactly. Like
It's what
Adventure
it is,
Zone
it's
don't
their
follow the fucking rules. Yeah, it's a bunch
this
of
is
fun.
our fun.
but
That's their
check it out.
fun. Everyone's fun is their own fun.
Is different,
Nobody's
but-
fun is wrong. Is what I'm trying to say. Good old
That's
Will
very true.
Friedle.
Nobody's
Your fun
fun
is
is
wrong.
zero.
No one's fun is wrong.
Well, except if your fun involves breaking laws.
When it
but
comes
yeah,
to
go check that out.
D&D,
True.
it's not.
Yeah.
God
When
damn
it comes
it.
to D&D. Yes, goddamn Tom. Go and check that out, and we will see you again on Thursday. We love you. Take care. Stay safe. And we'll see
Wash
you
your
next
damn
Thursday
hands,
for
you
more Cut to
nasties.
Strahd. Wash your damn hands, you nasties. And then we'll be back, not this Sunday, but the Sunday after for Erois. That'll be the next Erois, because we're going to take a break. All right. Thank you for all the donations. Thank you for all the subscriptions. Thank you for
Thank you very
watching.
much.
We will see you next time.
Thank you.
Take care, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.